Joining us now is our international affairs editor, Armen Georgian. Sorry about that, Armen. We can start by talking about who these leaders are, and can we start with Mullah Baradar?
Well, absolutely, because it's been suggested that he will lead a new Taliban government, but we're not sure exactly what lead means, what the precise role is going to be. Is it a president with the supreme leader above him in a kind of Iranian-style setup, because that was previously suggested as a possible structure. In any case, Mullah Baradar is a very senior Taliban figure, a historical figure in the movement, a former fighter who was fled to Pakistan after the US-led invasion, and more recently he's been seen within the Taliban as a kind of political star, if you will, because he led the negotiations in Qatar with the US, which sidelined the Afghan government and was therefore instrumental in getting US forces and US allies out of the country. The other person that we should also have our eye on today is Haibatullah Akhundzada. The only photo that exists of him is there. This is the only photo ever released by the Taliban. He's the spiritual guide, the supreme religious leader of the Taliban. There are rumors that he may actually appear in public today, which would be an extremely rare thing. A Taliban spokesperson said that might happen, but we have yet to see whether that will happen today after Friday prayers, or indeed whether he is going to play this role of an Iranian-style supreme leader above the Taliban Governing Council in the future. We're not sure of that yet.
Well, the Taliban has promised to have an inclusive government. A lot of people have doubts about that, don't they?
Absolutely, because, Monty, if you look at the interim government that they formed after they swept into Kabul last month, well, it had a lot of hardliners in it. There was very little whiff of moderation about the interim government. There are people in the interim government who have been under UN sanctions. There's someone who was a former Guantanamo Bay inmate. So none of this was reassuring to the West, of course. We don't know for sure for now what the role will be, if any, for other Afghan officials that are non-Taliban that could, in theory, perhaps work with the Taliban, but will they be brought in? One imagines, based on what the Taliban did with this interim government, that the key positions, defense, intelligence, interior, all those things, one imagines will be Taliban loyalists and not someone brought in from the outside. Would be my guess based on what they've done in August. And they've made it clear that an inclusive government does not include women. So that's going to be a blow to the West, though perhaps not unexpected.
Not quite inclusive, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Inclusion has its limits. And of course, about Afghanistan's ethnic groups, will they be represented in this new so-called inclusive government? That is also going to be a key barometer that the West will be watching to decide if it will one day recognize the Taliban.
Okay, International Affairs Editor Armen Georgian. Armen,